Hey guys. Okay, so we're going to look at that packet that we started yesterday. So we did this beginning part. Remember when it says f of 3, for example, in the warm-up, or I'm sorry, in the example, f of 3 just means we're plugging 3 in for the x and then solving. All right, and then we talked about our multiplying. Remember, we FOIL the first two terms together first. Once you get an answer, then you multiply by the third term. All right, end behavior, you guys should be pretty good on this, but just as a refresher, remember we're looking at positive, negative leading coefficient and also even or odd exponent for your degree. So the positive, negative tells you your second one. So in this case, this 3 is a positive, so my right-hand side is going up. This is even, so they match. So remember, even, they match. Odd degree, and they're opposite. Okay, so you should be able to fill in that portion pretty easily. All right, on the very back, so finding all zeros. So to find the all zeros, that's when your y equals 0, what are your x values? Now, remember that if it's linear, for the first example, this is linear, so we would have one answer because it's to the first power. In our second example, we've got a quadratic, so that's why we have 2 answers. And then if you look in the third example, you see 3 sets of parentheses. Think of it like the factored form of a quadratic. It's already in its factored form. We've got 3 sets, so we're going to have 3 answers. Okay, so basically all you're doing on these is you're just solving when y equals 0. So for example, on the first one, for number 1, it's a quadratic. Try factoring it. Factoring doesn't work, then you try quadratic formula. For number 2, you're going to set each set of parentheses to equal 0 and then solve each one individually. So for example, we would have x plus 3 equals 0, 2x minus 1 equals 0, and 3x plus 3 equals 0. And you're going to solve each one of those, and those are your 3 answers. Okay, so that's basically all you're doing for all of these. You're just solving for each set of parentheses, or you're solving the quadratic, or you're solving the linear equation. Okay, on the very back, all about functions. So we have 4 different things we're doing here. So A is you're naming the degree, B, you name the leading coefficient, C is the end behavior, and D is how many zeros does the function have. So let's do number 1 together. So name the degree. The degree is your highest exponent. So in this case, we have 2. So this is degree 2. The leading coefficient is -4. So our end behavior, since our leading coefficient is negative, our second or right-hand side is negative. And then our right-hand side, because this is even, the left-hand side is going to be the same. So essentially, think about it, that's what that graph looks like. All right, and then part D, how many zeros does this function have? Remember, the number of zeros equals your degree. Okay, so for example, in number 1, it's the second degree, so we should have 2 answers. Okay, that is all you're doing for this as well. So again, pretty basic, pretty simple, shouldn't be bad at all. So make sure you complete both sides of this worksheet and have it ready for me for tomorrow. Thanks, guys.